First of all, welcome to VertiChat with Mads. I still can't believe, but somehow here we are. I was able to convince another one of my favorite vertical actors to join me for an interview today, Gabe Armentano. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Mads. I'm very happy to be here. This is very exciting.
It's nice to finally meet you.
Oh yeah. This we've been chatting about this for a little while. Oh my goodness, probably over a month now,
Yeah,
trying to get this to work. So I mean, all of our schedules are crazy. So it's happening. This is great.
finally. My first question, can we
Shoot.
start off by you telling me a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Um, you just want me to whatever I say? Is there anything specific behind the curtain, or okay? A little bit about myself. I'm an actor. I currently am based West Coast, US, Los Angeles. I studied acting in New York. I grew up in a small town in Connecticut. I I don't know. I had alpacas and dogs and cats growing up. I am a big fan of movies, which I guess seems like an obvious thing, but I find that some people are TV people and some people are movie people. And obviously we don't need to like categorize or like make blanket statements, but I would just any day of the week go to a film for a couple hours, then like binge something on TV because I get invested and then it's hard to finish the show. But 2 hours, love it. So I'll catch myself at a theater at least once a week, movie house. And what else? I've been doing verts for about a year and a half. They've been good to me. I was more or less a server up until June of 2024, but I worked other kinds of jobs, dry cleaning, bike delivery. I've worked on a farm. I've been a lifeguard. What else have I worked? Oh, I did. I worked at a bagel restaurant, which I guess falls into food service, but like different. Um, I have taught piano and I have, my goodness, my brain is expanding thinking, oh, I did freelance for motion graphic design for a couple of years as well, which was pretty fun. And some project management. So yeah, I've done all kinds of stuff to pay the bills, and I've been very fortunate and blessed to be doing acting more or less full time in vertical dramas for about a year and a half. Yeah.
It's a very wide range you've got there.
Oh yeah. Anything to pay the bills. That's what you got to do. Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
There was like so much in there. I'm gonna pick a few things out, but there's just
Yeah.
you taught piano.
Yeah. So I had a couple lessons with friends. I also, again, like they paid me for it, so I consider it a job because I was able to like get them some beginner classes, and like that month it's like that helped with groceries, or that helped with utilities, or I also like there was very small. I only did probably like 10 lessons, if that's even the right word. I did a piano accompaniment for like a children's ballet school in New York for a couple of weeks because they just need someone to roll up and read the chords and kind of like plinkety plink to make sure that all the little boys and girls are able to just like do their little dancing thing. So it's just yeah, it was fun. It's cute.
Why didn't you dance with them?
I wish I could say I'm a talented, highly trained dancer. The reality is I was afraid to put the onesie on, and I'm better with playing than I am with dancing. Also, my stretching skills are awful. But yeah, you know what? Honestly, so I went to college at Pace University in downtown Manhattan. I don't know if you can hear the trash can outside, um, or the garbage truck. I went to Pace University, downtown Manhattan, and I was part of a new program, and they had all these new teachers and classes, and everybody was kind of looking forward to second year movement classes. excuse me, because they slated us for jazz and ballet classes. Well, second year movement came, and they're like, "Sorry guys, dancer's not showing up, so we got to improvise." And I'm like, well, "What are we doing now?" So we ended up doing some really cool classes. Um, it's a French movement training called Le Coq. And it's I don't know, it's been around for at least 100 years, I think. So that was kind of interesting, maybe a little pretentious. But then we also did some fun stuff like clowning work, which isn't movement in the sense of like, ballet or like a specific body training, but it was very much a way of like taking performance and comedy and putting it in our bodies as how are we using it? Because clowning, you can clown without using any dialogue, and so it's all about like body language and stuff like that. It's a very very weird, silly semester. It was great. It was great. Little pieces here and there. That's
Yeah.
how the training works. At least at that school. Other places they'll do one technique for like 2 years. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
cool, but that's not how our school was. We did a little bit of everything. So
So I don't even know how to just comprehend what I like.
okay,
I
okay.
don't know how to explain it, but
Yes.
stop.
Dude, you got questions? Tell me, tell me, tell me.
You've acted across multiple genres.
Okay.
Which genre would you say feels the most natural, and which one challenged you the most?
Are we talking in the context of verticals or are we talking in general? And when you say genre, are you talking about the content or do you really mean the medium, like film versus theater versus like serialized mobile stuff?
Probably film, and yeah.
So within film, the genre I performed in, what feels most natural? Um, for whatever reason, my brain kind of falls into I produced a short film last December, and it's a neo-noir. It's a mystery, and I find that like I can play these like dark, brooding types. I just just like just the like relaxed, neutral, almost like stern um, energy. Whether it's like a vertical and like they just love me for the CEO, just like the guy who's like really annoyed at all times. It's so silly. I find that like for whatever reason, like just putting on that type of character, people respond to, um, and I feel comfortable in. But like I did, some Shakespeare in college, and I did a little bit of random projects with my friends, and specifically to verticals like Forbidden from the Hidden Land to the CEO's Heart, or like Catch Me If You Can. And I really love comedy. It's just like such a fun thing to just play. And in my brain, it's like a science. It's like if you can like sit down and just like get the payoff, the setup and the punchline, then it makes it so worth it. Verts are really hard to do though, because you don't have time to rehearse and you don't have time. Like you basically have to see the joke on the page and you got to be able to make the choice to do something silly and fun with the knowledge that they're gonna edit it however they want anyway. Like whatever I'm doing that could be funny or silly, they could just kill the joke because of the way it's being edited. So I mean, you watch these things. It's like sometimes like a silly scene will suddenly have like really dramatic music in the background, and it's like, where did that come from?
It's like the
Or
tables are completely turned. Like, what in the world
right,
just happened?
exactly. Or vice versa is like you'll have a very serious scene, and then you'll just hear like, and like, what are these
Yeah.
sound effects that you're throwing into this?
Oh, the water droplet gets me every time. I lose my
Oh
marbles.
yeah,
I'm like, this is just not needed.
yes, yes. So, but okay, so long story short, I really like dark brooding types in drama, and I just love like some silly slapstick screwball comedy, stuff like that, you know. So, yeah.
I think I watched a few of like when I was like doing my homework.
Going on.
What what was the one? I don't know. She was in the box on the porch and you went through the whole house and like you were mad. Like I watched that. I was like, that is
You
so
watched
cool.
Encounter on the Street?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was such a weird film. That was a really fun project. That
I
me
was
and my
like,
buddies
you were
put that together.
so emotional. Like
That's really funny.
that
That's
was just
amazing.
extra.
It was so extra. It was meant to be insanity, you know, mildly grounded insanity. So, yeah, that was
No,
fun.
but
That
that
was
was
fun.
pretty cool. Like this is completely different, but this is cool.
It is. It was, yeah, it was very experimental in nature, and it definitely allowed us to try to flex some kind of. The way we marketed that project was, what did we call it? It was a not an unexpected comedy, but it was something suggesting that like just no, not everyone's gonna get this. It's gonna be so weird, and that's what it is. It's just for those of you at home who have time to go on YouTube and type in "an encounter on the street," you are going to probably watch either one of the most embarrassing or confusing comedies you will ever see in your life. That's effectively what it is. So, and it was fun. It was so much fun to make.
It was fun to watch. Like especially like
Great. I
seeing
mean, hey.
seeing you like in verticals and then watching that. It was
Yes, yeah, it's
so
very
different.
different.
Like,
Yes, very different.
would you rather play the villain in a vertical? Because you could pull it off.
I think the honest, like the non-media training answer is I would rather do the lead because it pays more and you get more days on set. But character-wise, the villains, if they're written with an arc, are very interesting and engaging to play. Because I've done some villains, which that new list I gave you, you may or may not find some people that you have or have not seen me play. And some of the villains have arcs. You know, that's the thing is the leading man. They're starting to give them more arcs, but and it goes for the women as well. Like we tend to be, the women tend to be POV characters where everything happens to them and the men tend to be like a strong embodiment of an ideal that is also kind of reacting to the world. And the people who tend to have arcs are the ones who are constantly doing things that affect us. And either they learn from their misbehaviors or they don't. Um, and so now in the last year, we've started seeing more scripts where like the man starts as a doting husband who's kind of an asshole, but a doting husband, and then eventually he becomes like messed up and like he loses everything or he, you know, hurts, assaults, tears the relationship apart. And we also see some, I think we've seen some of these like female empowerment roles where like I just came off one. And it's about this woman who she basically was tragically ostracized by her family, which resulted in her having a like permanent physical impairment. And years later, she comes back and she gets uh, revenge on the family. And it's kind of like a revenge empowerment story, but not revenge in like a haha nasty way. Like the family is ultimately the one who's creating all the obstacles, and she eventually finds her way. And I'd like to see more of those stories, but we're still in this spot where like we're playing mostly archetypes. You know, we're representing like an ideal, a monolith, they're kind of like live action cartoon characters, is the way I tell people, you know. Um, but I think they're so much fun. But yeah, sometimes the villains can be more fun to play. But I really like doing the leads and I like being on set. And I could, to be able to work 18 to 24 days out of the month as a lead gives me the opportunity to like work as much as possible, practice as much as possible, meet as many people as possible. Yeah, I really love playing the leads. It's so great. So
That's interesting because
tell
you
me why. Tell me why.
you pull off a lead like superbly,
Thank
but
you.
like you could also pull off a villain. Like holy shit. Like
You
I don't
got
know, just
which villains have you seen me in? Which villains have you seen me in?
ah, there was one I can't even remember what it's called.
Pull
It
up the
was just
villain. Pull up the list on the email.
I've watched over 1,000 of these. This is ridiculous.
I believe it.
I think it's my accidental alpha's desire.
Okay, I was across from Nicole Maddox on that one.
I think it was that one.
Okay. Uh, James in that one doesn't have much of an arc. Like he's cheating on the
No, he's spiteful.
right. Well, exactly. Yeah, he is spiteful. That's a good way to put it because at all times he really just wants to be loved and to have somebody to love. But the problem is he is so filled with ego and resent for the other alpha that he just has to play games and try to steal things from him, and inevitably just he gets what he deserves, you know. Yeah, his yeah. If you want a little bit more of like crazy intense villain, I gave a second chance to Cupid, is that it? Or no, Accidental Surrogate for my Captain X. Um That was a smaller one that I've done. I don't think there's any like big names, although a lot of us are working regularly. Bree Wagner and Pat Palkin, they're the leads on that one. And I play this like very vengeful, like he owns an airline industry. It was never clear to me whether I was actually a pilot or if I just owned the airline company. But that guy is messed up. If you want to watch like a crazy villain, one of mine, that's some psycho stuff going on in there. And then my Vampire Bodyguard was so much fun with Jess Jacoby and Casey Esser. That came out in the last, I think it came out this summer, but we shot that in January.
I'm just looking at the ones that like I have seen. I've seen like Hear My Love Again.
Okay, which
I
is great. Love that one with Lottie. That's so much fun.
I gave a second chance to Cupid.
Okay.
My accidental alpha's desire. Frozen Hearts
Hmm.
and Fiery Love. That makes two of us. Catch Me If
Okay.
You Can. Nice to Hold You Dear. The Return of Billionaire Mom. I hate how I have to write it in there because it auto corrects to the Australian mum. So I have to like,
Interesting.
um, after all the time and swapped mates. So there's like
Okay.
a few that I haven't like obviously because yeah, on my list to watch is Substitute Bride for the CEO and From the
Yeah.
Hidden Island to the CEO's Heart. But
That's a
like
fun one. I think you'll be
it
pleasantly
looked
surprised
fun,
by him. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
these things cost money to watch.
Yes. Yes, they do. I mean, yeah. It's it's one of those things where like I honestly I'm always surprised. Do you pay for subscriptions? Like how does that work? Yeah.
Yeah, I had at
I
one
mean,
point.
if you love it, and then like, I mean, I paid $30 a month to go to AMC, and people would probably think it's ridiculous because who has time to go to the theaters? But in the US, I don't know how it is in Australia. In the US, a movie ticket could easily cost $18. And so
Mm,
if I go to the theater twice a month, I've gotten my money's worth. And in this case, if I go
exactly.
once a week, then I've definitely got my money's worth. So I would
So
rather
what, like,
pay
do you
for
just pay
that.
for the month?
I just pay for the month. And according to AMC, according to them, I can see four movies a week, any what do they call it? Any format, whether it's IMAX or Dolby's this new one that has come out recently, or just like a standard laser format, you know. But it's just supposedly I can go see four a week, and like it's true. Like there's enough movies to watch four a week, but I just they know like it sounds like such a good marketing line, but realistically, if I go once a week, then we're doing good,
You're
you know.
lucky. It's
But
like because we pay per movie.
there's no subscription model at all in all of Australia. Oh yeah,
Well, not that I know of, but it's like
sure, sure.
18, we're probably 18, $19 per movie. And then you have to pay for popcorn
Oh
and
my
like
goodness,
drinks and everything. And that's like, it's like
it's a
$50
lot.
by
It's a
the
lot.
time for one ticket, popcorn, drink, and whatever, like, snacks you want.
Yes.
It's like $50 per person.
And they're wondering why movie attendance is struggling. Like
Yep.
there's a reason. It's not affordable for people. It's really not, you know.
But no,
So, but that said, like, okay, so here's the thing though. So when you pay a subscription, do you just pay it blindly because you know inevitably there's content that you will like? Do you pay it because you know there's a new show coming out? Do you only pay it for certain platforms like that? Like again, like I know like you're interviewing me, but like I find this so valuable learning about how you as an audience member consume this because I I don't pay for subscriptions myself. If I try to get footage, I'll try to contact production companies and stuff like that. And then other than that, I do have some friends and family who have done it, but it's really I'd love to hear what your thoughts are.
no, well, I wanted to make this more like a two-way conversation instead of just like
Yeah, for sure.
this.
Right.
But yeah, I will wait months between um like subscriptions to make sure that there's enough content on that app to last me the week. So
Yeah.
at the moment, I do the monthly subscription to Real Short. I haven't watched a vertical in like probably 3 weeks. I'm having withdrawals because I've been
Oh my
like doing the
goodness.
interviews. I was like,
Well, you gotta,
I'd rather talk to you guys in person. This is so much more
which like, hey,
entertaining.
is great, but yeah, I mean, if you need a little, you gotta get some sleep.
No,
You gotta like take care of
no,
yourself. If you need
no.
to watch if you need to watch a show, just put a show on. Like that's
I
okay.
can't because what's going through my brain as I'm watching, like I started watching one. Actually, no, I lie. I
Yeah.
watched one the other day. I lie. I lie. I'm sorry. Uh, I watched Evan's new one on Drama Box,
Okay. Okay.
but the whole time when I was watching it, it was like, if I was to have Evan in front of me like you are right now, what would I ask him? So I was like picking it apart and like writing down any questions. I was like, this is not okay.
Oh my goodness.
So I've just literally just got everything on my brain, like questions, what to ask. I was like, I can't do that. But no, yeah, I wait weeks, months, weeks between apps. So my go-to apps are like Real Short, Drama Box. I've got the yearly subscription for Candy Jar because that one's
Okay.
just I don't even know how to. Their subscription is weird, but
But it's
when
worth it for the year,
yeah, it was like well, $100 my currency
which
compared
is
to
probably like $60 or something for us. Maybe less. I don't know. Interesting.
yeah.
That's
But
actually
yeah,
not bad. That's like
yeah.
$6 a month, I
Mm.
guess. If I'm right about that. I don't know the rate, exchange rate.
Well, Real Shorts subscription for a year is 300 Australian dollars. Yeah. I was like,
Wow.
I'm not paying that. So I just bought the monthly one, which is like,
That's
I think
bananas.
$50. But like, I think
That's
Drama Box
crazy.
just dropped their subscription to like 14.99. So
They
I was
dropped the
like,
price.
yeah, they dropped it from I think I was paying, I don't know, they had like every week it was like promotion. So it was like 24.99, 23.99, and now it's like 14.99. I was like, okay, I'm getting this.
I wonder if this is a Black Friday deal or what, because I know in China, which I'm assuming, a lot of these projects and platforms, they're funded out of Southeast Asia. They have what's called like a big sales month. It's
Yeah,
11 to 12. So that could be what's going on right now, is they're just promoting the heck out of it for the next 30 days. So
might be. Because yeah, we had Black Friday here too. Um, I don't know the
Hmm.
meaning behind it, but I just know that Black Friday sales. Oh
I wish I could tell
shit.
you. I could tell you what Black Friday. I have no idea. I just know it's a day after Thanksgiving. That's the best I can give you. So,
I was like, when is Thanksgiving? Like, 'cause
oh my goodness. I think it's typically the last Thursday or the fourth Thursday in November.
to
It's
say, because we
like,
don't celebrate it here.
huh?
We don't celebrate Thanksgiving here in Australia.
Right, right. I know. It's yeah. I forget how American of a holiday it is. Just
That
because,
was like, I put a video up
yeah,
on my story the other day on Instagram. It was like, welcome to Australia on the 31st of October. And there was no houses decorated, no children running out. I'm like, yeah.
yeah. That's it.
And I had
You wait,
people
so you
like,
guys don't even do Halloween?
uh, the older lot of us don't. All the new, like little ones do, but
Okay.
I don't
But
celebrate it. Like
it's not.
last Friday was obviously Halloween. And they're like, candy this, candy that. And I'm like, you live in Australia? What do we call it? Like I was just saying that the whole day. And they're like, candy. I'm like, no, we call them
Well,
lollies.
you call them lollies? Oh no, you must be so upset that these kids are running around
Yeah.
trick or treat
Mm-hmm.
asking for candy. Oh my goodness. A
But
lolly. So everything that's sweet is called a lolly?
mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
See, in America, I'm assuming you know this already, but if not, like lolly sounds like short for lollipop, and that's a very
Yeah.
specific kind of candy. But for to call everything lolly, it's impossible. That's just not accurate.
Literally on our like what are they called? Like the advertisement signs in Woolworths, it literally
Yeah.
has lolly aisle.
Oh, oh, interesting.
It's like lollies slash chips. Well, I don't know what you guys call them over there.
Chips being
Like
potato
packet of
chips.
chips. Yeah.
Okay, we call them chips. We call them chips too. I know some places call them crisps. Maybe that's
Yeah. I was
England
like,
that calls it that. Yeah, I will say it's always surprising to me how so many people can speak the same language and still say it so differently, you
I
know?
know.
Like I get that places have oceans between them, but even like within Australia, I'm sure there's different accents as there are within England. I know there's different accents within the US, but I still feel like it's there's still relatively a neutral thing, you know? I don't
Mm.
know, maybe I'm crazy, but
Well, like if
yeah.
I go to Sydney, they have like a totally different mannerism.
Like what?
So like I'm out in like country Australia.
Yeah.
And if I travel like to Sydney, which is like 4.5, 5 hours that way, um, the way that they speak is like different to the way we speak out here. Like not very different, but there are a lot of tone changes.
It makes sense because a lot of I mean, this isn't just like unique to you guys. Anytime that there's a dialect that's closer to a city,
Mm,
inevitably they kind of homogenize the way they speak. And a lot of people would claim, in terms of posh, another way people would call it, obviously you're a smart cookie, but some people would say it's more educated, which in the US, in the US, there tends to be this in my opinion, there tends to be a pretense in like the cities that like the cities know better than the people in the country. And like, I don't think that's true because I come from a small town, but I know that like a lot of people think whether it's a political thing or an educational thing, and it seems like in some countries, the cities may also reflect that difference in the way they speak. I like another word I would say is like uppity or like yuppie, you know, like this kind of like pretense. I know a little bit better than you do, and you know, there's just like this feeling sometimes. And again, there's I've lived in cities for 15 years now, so like I'm a city dweller. Like who am I to make any comments about this? But I think there is truth to what you're saying.
I think
Yeah,
your version of yuppie and my version of yuppie are like completely different.
that's yeah.
Look at me, I've only asked like one question. This is
So
going to be part three too.
this is great. Bring it up. Let's go. Bring it up.
I need to find my questions now. I lost them. Do you have a habit or ritual that helps you get into the mindset of the character you're portraying?
Um, I'll say two things. I don't always do this, by the way. Sometimes it's just like cameras up and just say the line and just try to be as authentic as possible. So, like, this is not like something that Gabe Armentano does all the time. It helps him get into character. But these have been things that I've done in the past, very, very subtle things. Um, as early as like 12 or 13 years old, when I was like learning about acting and just getting excited about like how to play roles and stuff, I found it very helpful to close my eyes. And sometimes when you close your eyes, you kind of see like the spottiness, like it almost looks like a television almost, but there's like all these dots and stuff. And I don't know if it's your eyes adjusting to the eyelids closing and the light still trying to come through. But I would close my eyes and I would fix on that. And I would kind of count down from five to one, five, four, three, two, one. And in that five, four, three, two, one, I would visualize everything to do with the exact moment, who I am, who's the person in front of me, and like why this scene is taking place, what I need from them. Like that would be kind of I don't know if you'd want to call it like a meditation, like a very brief meditation, but it was a way of just kind of like calming the mind and focusing. Um, and then what's it called? You could call it like circles of seeing, so to speak. Um, if this makes sense. But the other thing is sometimes I think about like, yeah, circles of seeing or like awareness. And I guess Stanislavski talks a little bit about this. He's like a well-known acting professor, guru, actor, whatever you want to call him. He's from like a good 100 years ago now. But he's considered the father of modern acting. He kind of introduced a time of like character psychology and like trying to get inside the person and the humanity of a character. And for myself, yeah, circles of seeing and circles of awareness is kind of like, what am I seeing in front of me? While I'm looking at that person, what am I seeing within my situation? Like literally like within 10 feet. And then there's also the element of like if I'm playing across, a leading female and I'm a leading male, so I'm playing across a love interest. There's the actor in front of me, but then there's the awareness that like this is person I love, and then there's like the awareness. Some people in acting would call it like a substitution. It's like who am I seeing this person as if I wanted to substitute um, within my own life as Gabe. Because sometimes like if I'm talking to an assistant and I'm like these lines suck and this scene sucks and like what's the point? It happens, and it's like I'll look at my assistant and I'll remind myself like, okay, circle of awareness. Who is this person within my circle? Substitution, whatever you want to call it. And suddenly I'll see the assistant as a friend in my life. Like, and I will take the image of this like personal person Gabe has who he calls once a week, once a month, somebody I know from childhood, somebody who's like working on a project with me right now. I'll take that person and I'll kind of copy and paste that onto the assistant or whatever like buddy comrade character I have in that scene because it's just useful. It's very useful to like recontextualize the person or image in front of you. Um, to get you in the moment because otherwise, yeah, you're kind of just shooting from the hip and hoping things work. They're just so fast paced that any little trick or detail to just kind of tool, anything to utilize to get you in the right headspace is so valuable, you know? Because I'm sure you've seen, like, you don't have to, you can, you know, confirm or deny, but you'll see where, like, oh, the actor's cooking right now. And it's like, oh my goodness, Gabe is just like phoning it in right now. Like, what is he doing in this scene? He's just, was he like, or is he even in the same movie as everybody else? You know what I'm saying? But I will catch myself off guard because I'll watch verts, and occasionally I'll be disappointed with my performance. But then occasionally I'll be like, all right, that's cool. We really got something good to work with. And so, kind of the goal as an actor is to be able to consistently provide something to work with. Because if you're not consistent, then the platform and the clients, they can't rely on you to give a consistent performance. And I'm sure a lot of people think I provide something consistent. You said that you enjoy seeing my performance, but I have my days where I'm just like, bruh, what was that? What was that? There must have been a better take. But unfortunately, um, it's just not true. Sometimes you only get one take in verticals. You literally just get one take and then you move on. It's bananas. It's so fast paced.
I would cry if I messed up a scene and like that was the only take.
Yeah, well, the reality is if you mess it up, they would make you do it again.
Yeah. No, but like if
But
I personally feel like I messed up, but it was delivered the way that they wanted it, if that makes sense. Like
yeah,
it was like that's one of my questions. Like, what's one role you've done that surprised you once you saw yourself on screen?
in a good way or in a not good way? What do you mean?
You could do both.
Okay. I was pleasantly surprised by Hear My Love Again. And the reality is, fantastic production company behind that, 24K. Shout them out, 24K Onions. They're awesome. Like in many ways, that production had everything going for it. It had a good script. Our client was so supportive. Um, and there's just so many reasons like for that to work well. But when I shot it, I had the worst earache all week long. And people may or may not notice that, but I thought my performance did not suggest that. I thought I was pretty good at providing just like, what was needed of the role. But oh my goodness, I remember showering a couple days before production and just turning my ear in such a way that water got in it. And when I stepped out of the shower, it was one of those like, huh. And then within a couple days, it was not happy. My ear, like half my head, I couldn't hear anything. And I just had this like constant, like low frequency headache. It was just not great. So that one, I was very happy with how that one came out. And then let's think. Maybe there was one that I wish I was doing a little better in. Honestly, the doctor one. I thought for one of the scenes I was cooking pretty well, but the doctor. Yeah, what was that one called again? I have it on the list. My mafia something. Um, for those of you who want to see me play a sweet, sweet supporting role, the mafia boss's runaway bride. I have performed in far better roles than that one, and but it was my third one, and it was just great to like be on boots on the ground, just learning and working, you know. So very grateful to be on that set, and yeah, I don't know. I love these things. I think they're so much fun to make. So
They're fun to watch, but some of them are so cringe.
they are, yes.
Like
Okay,
I'm
so
one
tell
of
me though, why do you keep watching if it's cringe? Is there something kind of like what like guilty pleasure about like or is it the
yeah, I don't want to
drama?
admit it on camera. Like
Do you actually enjoy it? See? Maybe you actually like the cringe. To be fair,
no.
there we we cringe humor was big in the 2000s with like um The Office and Parks and Rec and
Mm,
stuff like that. And so now maybe it's a different guilty pleasure of like, oh, I'm having fun watching these actors do these awful stories. And
oh,
there's okay, see, that's something that I forget is like is a reason to watch these is the like the sex appeal, the like the romantic, sexually tense situations. I forget that because like for me as like a man in these, you get used to doing those scenes with your co-stars, and it's always kind of like, all right, here we go.
yep.
Bring the intimacy coordinator in, like, let's bang this out because it's not the majority of your time on sets. The majority of the time is spent doing all the other scenes.
Mm,
And so I forget that a lot of people watch them because they, at certain points in the story, have and anticipate, if not look forward to, the romantic sexual tension that's happening. Yeah, no, yeah, that's definitely a thing.
and that's why most of like the people that I interact with and talk to, like we like the romance, we like the
Yeah,
rom-com because it's that interaction, like
yeah.
because yeah, we're just I don't even know. We have like
Heck yeah.
a top 10.
Oh yeah, just like, oh yeah, if you want the romance, you gotta watch the. It's one of those things where like you also just don't know how you're going to be portrayed in some of these projects
Yeah.
because like I've been on some projects where like they've managed to make me look really good when the reality is like I don't have abs or like a large chest, and that's something I'm working on in the gym. But for some of these men, like already have a very high follower count and they have a history with modeling. And like that's something that when I step on set, I have to trust that like they're going to do their best to portray me in a flattering way. And so it's my
Mm,
job to mostly focus on the acting because the and also I'm more likely going to get cast in projects where like they're not pouring water and oil all over my body.
yeah.
I'm getting cast more in things that are going to be like character driven or just like
Mm.
archetypal like CEO. Because you're saying like the top 10 hot list, probably not going to be in one of those till we get the washboard abs. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And then,
no, I don't. I personally don't go for abs. I don't give a
you know
shit.
what's funny? This is such an interesting conversation that like if you're like you're down to chat like something I'm very intrigued about because I have an insecurity that there are. I know it sounds
No.
so silly. I know it sounds so silly. I'm not sitting over here like feeling sorry for myself because like at the end of the day, it's like however I'm dieting or exercising, I'm an actor. My body's
Yeah.
my headshot, face card, whatever you want to call it. Like that, it's the job, right? It's the job.
Mm.
But it is something where I sit here and I'm like. They're not casting me because of the way I look. Am I not
No.
getting this job because blah blah blah? And like, I don't know. Like these are things that go through our heads as an actor, and I have to
Yeah.
remind myself that at the end of the day, forget about it because I am, as mentioned, blessed and fortunate enough to be consistently cast. So I am providing something that the clients and the audience want.
Mhm.
Um, but I think yeah, there. I just have to remember that there are like it's it's so tough though because you know what it is? It's literally the first project I auditioned for, which I won't name, although it could be obvious depending on the release and what you know or don't know about me. Um, we'll say one of the earliest, to be tastefully diplomatic. One of the earliest projects I auditioned for, they wanted to cast me as the lead, and they were like, "You got abs? How much weight can you lose in 2 weeks?" And I'm just like, guys, I'm not gonna pull a Christian Bale machinist and like smoke cigarettes and eat and like drink coffee for like 2 weeks. I think he had an apple a day and cigarettes or coffee. That's like the lore, which like good on him if that got him the result he wanted, which by the way,
Mm.
incredible actor, but not for vertical, not for vertical. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, I think there is a little bit of that like operating in the back of my head of it's just
Everyone's
it's a thing,
preference
you know?
everyone's preference is different, but like my
Yeah.
partner doesn't have abs, so like what?
Sure, 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 sure.
I don't know. It's like yeah, like don't get me wrong, abs look okay. but that's not my preference.
Sure, 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 sure.
I don't even know how to explain it. If you got them, you got them. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, for sure. And at the end of the day, to go back to what we were talking about before, in terms of the hot scenes or the sexual tension or
Mm,
whatever, it's not the whole thing.
mm,
You know, there's still another, we'll say 85% of the show that you can have sex appeal in a different way. Is the man coming to save
yeah.
the leading actress? Is the
Mm,
man providing emotional vulnerability? Is the man being able to like solve a situation through either his experience or his status? Like these are other ways that are story driven, not, casting or physically driven
mm,
that, can create, I imagine, an attractive male figure, outside of just like physical traits. So
mm.
Maddie's like, nah, they're hot because how they look. That's it.
I think no, I don't even know how to explain it. No.